way to wager on all your favorite sports contests, events with first to market odds and lines. Now, find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. Bet Online seems to be the top online resource for all sports information, from live in-game betting props and futures. Head to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Now use our promo code BLEAV50 to receive your 50%. Welcome your bonus on your first deposit. Now Bet Online is where the game starts.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of BLEAV in Bills podcast, brought to you by Bet Online, powered by the legendary 96.5 powered WUFO. Today, I have with me the legend in two games, of course, as always, Muki Hawkins. What's going on, Muki? How you feeling today, man? Muki, can you hear me? Coach. All right, I don't know if he can't, you know what I mean, like hear. Can you hear me?
I can't even hear you.
Is it me?
Hello?
Or not? Can't be me.
I can't hear you.
Is your like? Oh man. Okay. All right. Now I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you though.
You can hear me? That's weird. All right, well, excuse us, guys. We tried a little technical difficulties here. But today we got a cool little mock draft for you guys. It's going to be pretty cool because we're going to be bringing you guys a live mock draft, right? So not just any mock draft where people get to pick their players and go and restart it and do it over again until they get one that they really actually like. We're bringing you guys a live mock draft. Okay. You guys have as much input on it as we do. If you see somebody you like, make sure you throw it in the comments and we'll consider it. We'll see, which one of those players we want to take at the position that we're at. And like I said, there's going to be trades. There's going to be, if you heard Muki's mock draft 2.0 order on Power 96.5, you know about them trades. All right, the trades is gonna be coming. We're gonna go slow, so we're gonna see each pick, who takes where, who's going where, and we get to take a look at our competitors over in the AFC East, and maybe talk about their picks a little bit and say, hey, what could that player do for them? And it's going to help them knock us off, which, we'll see what happens there. But we go get into the mock draft. But first of all, I need to know, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right, cool. Yeah, all set. But yeah, I'm just a general referee. Like I said, that is the coach, Muki Hawkins. This is BLEAV in Bills podcast. Also, with a power 96.5 mix here. So we're going to go ahead and get into this mock draft. All right, you ready to get into this mock draft? Because like I said, I told the people, we can't go back and start over and, oh, no, I want that. You know what I mean? A lot of people do that. 100% authentic. Y'all seeing it live. So here we go. All right. Y'all can see my screen? All right, here we go. My bad. All right, so we're going to Pro Football Network. We're doing their account, right? They're obviously picking the Buffalo Bills. How many rounds you want to do? Yeah, I mean, we only got to do full 7. What you thinking?
Full 7.
You want to do full 7? All right, let's
the Bills got 6 draft picks right now.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's get to this drafting. First pick in the overall, with the first overall pick in the draft, C.J. Stroud is the quarterback at the Panthers, followed by Bryce Young, Will Anderson Jr. to the Cardinals. What do you think about the Cardinals staying at 3 there? Do you think they'll actually do that, or you think they're going to take, a player there?
I think they probably stand their ground and take a player there. They do got a gap, but it ain't till the later rounds where they'll see that gap. It's like 40 picks away. I don't think they have a fifth round pick this year. They can have a couple of six, but I think they hold put. Or if somebody want to trade up for it, I'm quite sure they could use the picks.
Yeah. No longer needing a wide receiver over there in Baltimore. They take Devon Witherspoon, cornerback out of Illinois, with the obvious recent signing of Odell Beckham Jr. 1 year, $18 million. Does that help them keep Lamar, Coach?
I mean, do they got enough money to pay Lamar? You got to pay OBJ 18. He gets what he want. Wish you well, but I'm not sure if Lamar still. I don't know if that's enough to keep Lamar. It should be, but we'll see.
Keely Ringo, cornerback out of Georgia, goes to the Jets to pair with Sauce Gardner. Well, before we get to our picks here, what do you think about that? They look like they're gonna have a strong little secondary over there in New Jersey.
Who just went there? Who did Jets just select?
Keely Ringo, cornerback out of Georgia.
Oh, they're getting some bookend corners there. That's a respectable pick. I mean, you're going to have to do that at some point. It is a passing league, so I guess they just want to, sure up, how those bookend corners, because that defense in front is legit.
All right. Excuse me. All right. So now, before we look at these trades, right? Oh dang. Oops. Looks like I just accidentally. All right. So let's go ahead and look at what we have on the board here, right? Obviously, we know the Bills picking at 27. Let's go to our team needs, see what they say we need. We need a offensive guard, a cornerback, linebacker, safety, wide receiver. All right. Let's look at our board here. We got Michael Mayer. Nolan Smith dropped a little bit. Darnell Wright has dropped. Jalen Hyatt is there. Anton Harrison. No, I'm not a fan of Anton Harrison, but he's there. Trent Simpson, linebacker out of Clemson. We talked about him before. He's there. Zay Flowers, Jameer Gibbs, Josh Downs, Darnell Washington. There's a lot of good players here. Coach, who you thinking that the Bills would do right now in this position? Mind you, we can still offer for trades.
I'm going nuts right now because I still see Nolan Smith was on the board, a best available type of player you would have to think about.
Michael Mayer is the best.
Had to take the entire clock to think about this. Do you take the best player available? And right now, it's looking like the edge rusher Nolan Smith. I mean, Trenton Simpson is still on the board there as well. So you go ahead and get your linebacker, take him off the board. Still our guy down there, Washington is there too. So trying to figure out what's the best solution. Let's see if we can trade back a couple places. We may risk Nolan Smith, but let's see what that gives us.
Trent Simpson will still be there. They're very comparable. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I like Trent Simpson a little bit more only because I don't think Nolan Smith is big enough to play edge at the next level. I like him more as a linebacker, and Trent Smith is already a linebacker. So, I like him a little bit more. All right, let's see what we can get. Where are you trying to trade to? Let's thinking the Bengals actually offered us a pick at 28, and they gave us the 92nd. I think it's for like the one.
Let's go. Let's go with your buddies, Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Where Arizona picking? 34. Oh, you trying to trade back into the second? All right, let's see what Arizona. All right, let's see. All right. Arizona Cardinals. All right, let's see. You give up our 27. We want you 24. We also want you 66.
Yeah, see what that do.
Yeah, a little bit more.
That's not gonna happen.
A little bit more. They ain't that crazy.
Right. Go to Colts.
Well, try Colts.
Maybe if we had some 24 picks to throw in there, we'll be able to make that trade work. But you can't use 24. So let's go to the Colts. 35 and 106. No, they're not gonna give us that. Go 106.
If we give 59 as well, they might.
Nah, let's keep 59. Gotta keep
You want to
59.
try?
Stay
You
in the
want
middle of the pack. Let's just swap out and get 106 right now. Or they
all
want to
right.
give us
So with your what
106
up?
and 138. Give us take that 79 off and give us 136 and what is that? 137 or 138?
106 and 38. 106
All
and
right,
138.
see what that'll do.
Declined.
Take 138 off. Come back. This happens when we in the war room. All right, we're in the war room right now. We're trying to make it work. The coach don't want to give up, too many draft picks just to move up. So let's see if this should do it now.
35 and 106.
Yeah. I mean, we only
I
moving
think
back
they
a couple
accept.
spots. Damn, that
Oh,
one
they
declined
declined
too.
that.
We'll take
That's a shocker.
138. 138. Or check. Go check the Titans real quick.
Check Tennessee's temperature.
Yeah, let's see if
Tennessee's
somebody
picking
else. My phone is ringing. It's Tennessee on the line. Let's see what the hell they're talking about.
All right, let's see what Tennessee talking about. We need
Hello?
that 41.
Yeah, 27. We'll take 41 and 72.
That's what I was thinking too. Decline.
Let's see.
They ain't playing no games out here, man.
You bumped yourself out. You got to redo it again, guy.
You said what?
You got to redo it. You check Tennessee?
Yep.
All right, 41 and 72.
I think they just declined that.
I ain't see it.
You want to also throw in 137?
Nah. If they don't give us that, we're going to have to take 147 and 147 and 41. Yeah. And let's take 147 and 1. Yeah, 41 and 147.
Yeah, I think they'll take that. Yep. So we moved back. Good amount of spots.
We probably could have got the better deal out of Arizona with the 138, but that's okay.
With the 27 pick, the Titans take Darnell Wright, offensive tackle, Tennessee with our pick. Jahmyr Gibbs is heading to Cincinnati to replace Joe Mixon since he's having issues. Nolan Smith heading to New Orleans. Jalen Hyatt going to Philly to match up with Devontae Smith. Excuse me. And A.J. Brown. The Chiefs continue to bolster their offensive line. Steelers get another great wide receiver there. Texans get my guy, Felix Uzoma, who I really, really like. Zay Flowers is heading to Seattle. They say his comp pick, his comp comparison, NFL comp is who's that? Tyler Lockett. So now you get to go be with Tyler Lockett, maybe look at it a little bit. All right. So now is Buffalo Bills pick here 41. Let's see what trades we have offered. We get to offer move back 4 spots for next year's picks. We're not using next year's picks, so that'd be pointless. The Broncos here have offered 67 and 68 and 108 for next year's 4th.
They desperate. What are you thinking? They ain't got that many draft picks, but I mean, I don't want to move back too much. We miss our guy. Yeah. That would be a bad deal if I already had a
Trent
pick
Simpson
in
is
already.
gone. Yeah, so what we could do is we could accept this trade and then move up with the picks that they gave us.
Let's get the picking. Let's get the picking.
All right.
We are right at 41. We done move back far now. Move back twice.
So we got Darnell Washington on the board, Khalija Kancey, out of Bauer. He's nice. Mozzie Smith, big, huge. I think his RAS score is something stupid. It's not on here, but yeah, he's pretty good. Cedric Tillman, I think you picked him in your mock draft 2.0, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So we got Jack Campbell,
Will
Trent
McDonald.
Simpson is off the board.
Simpson's off the board. He was taken earlier. Yep. Trent Simpson got taken by the Washington football team 2 picks ago.
2 picks ago. Okay. So now we got Jack and we got Darnell. We got the 2 top guys basically on my board, our board, in reference to a tight end because the Bills only got 2 tight ends on the roster right now. We also know that Tremaine Edmonds have not been replaced. So, what do you think is more of importance here? You know what I mean? We got those 2 guys sitting there, Darnell Washington or Trenton Simpson. Or Jack Campbell.
Well, when you look at it from the perspective of, it's supply and demand, right? You got, Darnell Washington, who's a physical freak at tight end. We have a tight end. However, this is a big, huge guy who can block, who can run, who can catch, moves really, really well. You don't see guys like this come around too often. Of course, you get your once in a blue moons, you get your, Hawkinsons and your Eric Ebrons and guys like that who look really good coming out of college and look like they could be dominant tight ends. But they don't always pan out necessarily. Here at second round, he doesn't have the expectations. You go to a championship caliber team and you can go and just be a piece in a bigger puzzle, you know what I mean? Versus Jack Campbell, the talent from linebacker drops off significantly after Jack Campbell. And we do need a linebacker right now, one that plays his position. So it's really, it's tough either way because you are going to you're going to miss out on one of them. And both of them are very unique players, especially in this draft.
Yeah, I get that. But specimens like a Darnell Washington really don't come around too often. And it's still a little bit more linebackers I think the Bills can plug in right there, maybe at 59. So let's go ahead and select Darnell Washington. Let's just get him off the board. It's not even playing around with it.
41st pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Darnell Washington, tight end out of Georgia. Jets shoring up their offensive line a little bit more. Bills' next pick is at 59. Let's see who's coming off the board here. So another good player coming off the board here. Cedric Tillman off the board. He's going to New England to pair up with Juju Smith-Schuster. Luke Musgrave heading to Detroit. They've had Eric Ebron. They've had Hawkinson. Cyrus Torrance going to Tennessee. So he is off the books here. Let's see if Mozzie Smith is able to stay. Jack Campbell's able to stay. Zach Chabernet. Mozzie Smith is gone. He is going to Dallas. DJ Turner is headed to New Jersey. Clark Phillips III is headed to Jacksonville. And the Bills are up. They have picked 59 right now. The Colts want to offer pick 79 and 106. The Browns want to offer pick 74 and 111. Are you interested in either of these trades? I must tell you that I am not.
Me neither. We got to get a linebacker off the board here. Who's on the board for linebacker?
We're here, and your guy's still here. Jack Campbell sitting right here at 47.
Jack Campbell still sitting there? Go get him.
Will McDonald's also here. Noah Sewell's here. You thinking Jack Campbell?
Yeah, let's go get Jack. Get him out of here. Get him out the room.
All right. Well, we were debating on who we wanted there. Pick 41, our first second round pick. We're able to get both guys. Will McDonald the fourth is headed to Chicago with Tremaine Edmonds. Oh man, Noah Sewell headed to Kansas City. Some great picks here. Yeah. Look who's left is still on the board. I like Steve Avila, offensive guard at TCU. That's my guy. He's very sturdy. He is a great shield blocker. I think he can help really help in a run game. Also in a pass game. Offensive guard play isn't hot right now. And I think he can do some really cool things, although he might not be here for our pick because it's coming up. But he is the best player on the board, and he is going to Atlanta. So there goes that. Anybody else you see here on the board that you like that's still here so far?
We got our tight end. We got our linebacker. So this is like, I guess, the luxury pick right here. Where we at, 91?
We are at 91.
Yeah,
We're roughly 7 picks away.
Let's check and see if a D tackle or a receiver or a safety be on board here.
Okay. Have my eye on Jordan Battle, safety out of Alabama, but he was taken earlier. The Jets take Andre Carter II, edge from Army. And we got some trades here. Interested in either one of these, Coach?
It's that San Fran right there, 99, and what else right there?
155.
Let's do that trade. I think we could slide back 9 more spots.
All right.
Hope I'm right. Ivan Pace.
Cameron Latu, Christopher Smith II. All right, so what are you thinking here? I know you said defensive tackle. More trade offers. Yeah, I was about to say.
Let's go pick.
All right, looking at the board here, Jaylon Jones out of Texas A&M. My guy Dayon Henley is here. We did pick a linebacker already though, Henry To'o. Zach Pickens is still here, South Carolina defensive tackle.
What receivers we have? Do we got any receivers there?
That we picked already? No, I don't think so.
No, we didn't pick a receiver, but what's the next receiver on the board there?
Let's see, we have the wide receiver position. We got Xavier Hutchinson out of Iowa State. My guy Nathaniel Dell's still here. Dontavion Wicks is still here. Bryce Ford Wheaton. Jonathan Mingo out of Ole Miss.
What's the D tackles?
Zach Pickens, South Carolina. Jack Leroy. LSU. Jackson Player out of Baylor. Dante Stills, West Virginia. Some nice talent.
We'll go back to the linebackers again.
Dayon Henley, Washington State's the best linebacker out right now.
The Bills got a funny way on doubling up. You know what I mean? Do you feel that somebody is on the board now that we need to go after Pickens and then probably go get another linebacker later on in the round, or do you just go ahead and take that? But you taking Jack Campbell, you still got Spector, you still got Dodson, you still got with those two, you can still got Matakevich as far as a middle linebacker. Bernard and Milano, they are the backups there. So it's a pretty interesting scenario. I'll say I would say D tackle for the sake of it. People go nuts if we double up with a linebacker.
Zach Pickens out of South Carolina here?
Yeah, I'll take Zach.
All right, 6'3", 291 with a RAS score of 9.22, well-built defender with a great combination of natural leverage and proportional length, explosive athlete with quick get-off and the snap and easy momentum generation. Hey, that's exactly what we need over on our defensive line. Combination of explosiveness and proportional length amounts to stellar power capacity. Can recover after initial displacement with his stout lower body and lateral athleticism. He's a bigger guy, which is what we needed. We know that Oliver is a little small, but looking like Hey, looking like it could be giving some dividends to our defensive line here. With this pick here in the third round, does that mean anything specifically for Ed Oliver?
Potentially could be. I don't know. The Bills have been, really having a keen eye on defensive tackles and tight ends during this pre-draft, and this whole, since I say in the past 30 days, the Bills have really been having a point of emphasis on bringing in tight ends, linebackers, and D tackles. So yeah, it's a possibility, that it could be moved during the draft. We can't do it on this specific mock, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills make a move on drafting.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we might see some shocking things on draft day coming out of one Bills drive, just because again, we talked about it earlier in the offseason. There's a couple players where they are in danger of doing exactly what Tremaine Edmonds did this offseason, which is walking away for absolutely nothing. And you can't let that keep happening. Would you trade, Tremaine Edmonds for a third round pick? If somebody called Brandon Bean with a third round pick for Tremaine Edmonds, he would hang up the phone. There's no negotiation after that. So to sit here and tell me that, hey, this and that, and at least we get a third. I don't want to hear it. All right, the Bills are back up at pick 130. We got an interesting trade here, Coach. The Colts want to give us 138. You move back 8 spots, and you also pick up 221 and 236 in this draft. You see somebody you like over there on the board, or you want to maybe trade
I can barely see. What's the receivers we got up there?
What receivers we got up here? Let me see.
No, right there. Nothing on the immediate big board.
Best receiver on the board is Parker Washington out of Penn State. He is rated the 138th best pick, and we are at 130, so he would technically be a reach. He's a 5'9" guy, and I know you don't like those guys, so let's move on.
Where's Wheaton? 6'1". Did Wheaton go off the board yet?
Yeah, Wheaton's gone.
Wheaton's gone. All right, so
Nathaniel Dell is still here. I know you don't like Nate. I know you don't like the short guys, but
I ain't getting no more Smurfs.
Oh, I'm telling you, it was a beast. All right, but we still have this trade offer on the phone.
What is our regular board looking like? That's the regular board.
This is the regular board right here. You got an edge out of Ohio State, Zach Harrison. You got an offensive. Whoa, what is an OC?
Center.
Just put me off. Oh, center. Okay, I was like, what? John Gaines, the second out of UCLA. Jamie Robinson out of Florida State, the safety. We could get another linebacker. Another edge rusher, Isaiah Land out of Florida A&M. Kenny McIntosh, running back out of Georgia.
Stroll up, see what else on there. What about that corner right there, Corey Trice?
Mekhi Gardner.
What number do you have?
Corey Trice Jr.?
Yeah.
Or Purdue. This one here, Mekhi Gardner out of LSU.
Nah, I like Purdue.
Okay. He's 6'3". He has a RAS score of 9.67. Shows off good explosion capacity when launching into contact situations, which is good because you want a guy who can get a hit on the ball, wrap up quickly and bring them down quickly. Don't let guys drag you. Surprising hit fluidity for his sizing and turn and run with receivers off the line. That sounds amazing. Able to hinge around and naturally match receivers as stems in off man coverage. So the Bills like to play that off man, which they got in trouble for. Kyer Elam not necessarily being super comfortable in that position. And this guy, apparently that's his strong suit. He ran a 4.47 40 at 6'3" with a 9.67 RAS score, and he has hip fluidity, which means he can move and he can move his hips and has his agility. I haven't watched any of his tape, I must admit, but I'm not gonna lie, this sounds like a pretty good pick.
So, with that being said, do we think because he's 147 on the board, can we slide back and think he'll still be there at 138, or we go get him now?
He's 149 on the board. You do have to scroll down a bit to see him, and I think you might be safe at 8 picks. But as they say, if you like a guy, go get him. So, what we thinking, GM?
Go get him.
Go get him.
Because he's a guy. I mean, he's 6'3", 200 pounds, running 4'4". He can probably convert into a safety. He makes another corners expendable in the trade if you want to trade Benford or Elam or Trey. So yeah, go get him.
And let's remember, ladies and gentlemen, Christian Benford was a very late round pick. Came in starting. So you get a 6'3" kid running a 4'4", 260, big body. Well, not big body, but big enough. Moving like that. And the one thing that they point out is his hip fluidity. I don't know, man. That's a pretty good pickup there. I'm definitely gonna have to go look at his tape because I don't know. It must be something wrong with, like, why is he not a first round pick?
I don't know. We have to see. I mean, he played in the Big Ten, so you got to go to the tape. That's why you go to the tape, right?
Gotta go to the tape. All right, we are back up at pick 137. We don't have any trades offers around here in round 5. What you looking at here? And honestly, looking at this, we probably could have traded back and still got our guy, but that's neither here nor there. Looking here, we got some linebackers, some edges, some offensive linemen, a lot of running backs here, safeties. Nathaniel Dell is still there. Just saying.
What pick is he at?
154.
He's 154. Where we're selecting right now? 137?
We're at 137. And I ain't going to lie to you, I don't think Nathaniel Dell is lasting until pick 154 in real life. But all right, what we thinking? Tajay Spears is there at 139.
What lineman do we have up there?
What lineman have we picked?
No, just we didn't pick. We didn't pick no offensive lineman.
We got center Josh Gaines the second out of UCLA. We got another center here out of Michigan. I'm not gonna try to say his name. We got a tackle, Jordan McFadden out of Clemson. Another center, guard, Andrew Voorhees out of USC.
I like Voorhees. Voorhees, but we can take a tackle to compete over there against Spencer Brown. Click on the guy from Clemson, McFadden. What does RAS score look like? McFadden.
Okay. Am I missing him? Oh, there you go. Clemson. He has a 7.11 RAS score, which is, I mean, it's above average. Everybody's not going to be a 9.95 RAS score guy. So let's, you know what I mean?
Go to Voorhees.
6'2", 303.
6'2", 303. Go to Voorhees. That's kind of small for a tackle, especially at right tackle.
6'6", 310. His flash and his ability to reset his hands to regain leverage. Additionally, he has excellent movement skills at guards, which he exhibited when he started at left tackle in 2021. While he shouldn't have been viewed as an offensive tackle prospect, Voorhees does have the athleticism, light feet, and frame to be considered an emergency death piece there. That versatility will undoubtedly attract scouts, especially when you add Voorhees' vast experience. The USC offensive lineman is a dependable and consistent presence, as you'll rarely find him on the ground. And if he is, it's because he put a defender there. So big guy, fluid in his position play, which the Buffalo Bills absolutely love. And I mean, it seems like it's almost mandatory at this point to play on their offensive line. Guy out of USC, over there in that region where you find guys like Josh Allen, in that California area. He's a big guy. They don't have his RAS score, but yeah, he's got really, really good, really good praise from some of the scouts.
Yeah, I'll take him. I'll take him. I know he tore his AC at the combine, so well, I'm thinking
that's him.
That you could put him on the shelf for the year and get him rolling. So I think he'll be a nice project.
He was a projected first round pick.
Yeah.
He's a projected first round pick before he tore his ACL.
Yeah, you can stash him away. We all know he's strong as all hell. He bench pressed 38 times, on the bench press there. So stash him away, and he can potentially replace Bates, or he can compete at that right tackle spot.
Absolutely. So Jordan McFadden's gone, now off the board. He is headed to Los Angeles. I'm just gonna go ahead and reject that trade because that was some BS. Right now, we've got our offensive lineman. Let's take a look back at our draft so far, right? Traded our 27 pick back, and we went back to 41 where we took tight end Darnell Washington. Now you've said it a million times, right? But with the knowledge that Odell Beckham Jr. he isn't going to be in Buffalo this upcoming season now that he is signed with the Ravens. What role can Darnell Washington play in this offense, and can he give us an immediate impact?
I think he could come in and be an immediate impact. I mean, the Bills didn't have a problem of, really scoring. It was a number 2, scoring team in the NFL. They just struggled inside the red zone. They had a problem getting there. They just struggled, inside the red zone. So what do? You go bring a tight end of his physical specimen size, 6'7", 275 pounds, who love to block. And, he's a bigger target for you in the red zone for Josh Allen to see. Now, you put that 12 personnel together, and, you got Dawson Knox, you got Gabe, you got Steph Diggs, and you got this tight end that just going to just check release out. It's going to be a matchup problem. Or you can split him out wide, one-on-one with a safety, and just throw a jump ball up. And, so many things you can do with him right away where he can be an impact on your offense.
Yeah. I have to agree there. And like you say, he's just such a big presence that it's almost like, it's like you could do whatever you want with him. You could split him out wide, you could put him at the end of the line. He could be a 6th offensive lineman. He could be a 3rd receiver. He could be a fullback, I'm sure, if you're at the goal line. Big body back there, leading, blocking. Can you imagine? Oh, my God. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. All right. Jack Campbell was the 2nd pick at pick 59. You get your starting middle linebacker to replace Tremaine Edmonds there. He had a RAS score of 9.96 or something crazy, 9.67, I think it was. So big guy, can move really well. He has really good instincts. When I was watching this film, I felt like he got really, really lucky. But at the same time, luckiness is just it's just basically like a side production of good. When you have a good game plan, right? The Patriots seem like they got lucky all the time when they had their dynasty. That's just because they were a good team. The Chiefs look like they get lucky all the time. But like I said, I think luck is just a byproduct of greatness. And he seems to be really, really lucky. A lot of his turnovers, he was just like in the right place at the right time. Right. So we need to see some turnovers here in Buffalo. Well, love to see that. Zach Pickens, defensive tackle, was the 94th pick coming in, and could potentially be a Ed Oliver replacement there. So we'll see what happens with that. Bigger body, bigger guy, nice size, nice talent. Corey Price Jr. was the 120th pick, cornerback. We looked at him, 6'2", could fly around the field, 4.47, 205 pounds. Just looks like a big specimen, like you said. He could maybe move to safety. I'm going to have to look at his film because those measurables are ridiculous. And then Andrew Voorhees was our last pick at 137, guy who was a much better player, and he was scouted to be a much bigger, higher round pick. So if you can get a guy, put him on ice for a year, redshirt him, bring him back, and then you have a first round talent there on your offensive line, for cheap, and all you gotta do is wait a year. I don't dislike that at all. So here we are at 47. We've got an offensive lineman, we've got a cornerback, we have got a defensive tackle, we got a linebacker, and we have got a tight end here. What position are you looking to kind of capitalize on here right now?
Let's check the wide receivers.
All right. Let's go see what wide receivers we got here on the board. Michael Wilson out of Stanford. So pretty much everybody here is below the big board that Pro Football Network has. I will say that this big board looks a lot different from the PFF big board, and I know PFF goes by a certain grading and things like that. They don't necessarily go by what they see on the eye talent perspective, and I'm guessing Pro Football Network does. So it'll be interesting to see which board matches up with where players are drafted. But at 147 here, you got Michael Wilson, wide receiver out of Stanford. He's 6'1", has a 9.94 RAS score. He's 213. Great quickness in the short area, mobility for his size, can easily offset DB, sudden high energy route runner with throttle freedom, terse hip sink, and rapid feet. It's shown he can accelerate into stems, eat up cushion, and use length to wall off DBs. Flashes devastatingly efficient footwork and tempo, stacking cuts to reroute defenders. If you're flashing devastating efficient footwork, who better to pair you up with than Stephon Diggs, right? 6'1", 213, big guy, obviously very athletic. Michael Wilson out of Stanford. I like Nathaniel Bell. Another Purdue guy is there. Charles Jones.
What's his number there? Where he's rated?
Who?
Dell.
Who? Michael Wilson?
No.
Tank Dell is rated 154.
He's 154. Let's go get him off the board. Let's go get your
Tank
guy.
Dell?
Yeah.
What? It's for me, looking at Nathaniel Dell, when you look at his tape, he just pops on tape. I said this a million times, but this guy is just a play waiting to happen. Whenever he touches the ball, you never know what's going to happen. He could literally go the distance, diving all around players and juking everybody on the field. Obviously, great fluid hips. His speed is incredible. He's 5'8", so he's very short. But I think he has the talent to make some things happen on his field. It kind of reminds me of like Percy Harvin a little bit. And I think that if he, can go and to me, he's better than Marquise Goodwin or Isaiah McKenzie. And he kind of is comparable to those guys, but I think he's the better version of those guys. So I like the pick there. At 155, we just went ahead and took a wide receiver. What position are you thinking now?
Let's go back and see what linebackers are out there still. Or do we got an edger there? What's the edgers and linebackers?
Edge, you could get a good deal for Isaiah McGuire. He is the 144th ranked edge out of Missouri. He is 6'4", 268 with a RAS score of 9.53, excuse me. I'm going to read his bio only because he's 144. The next best edge is 189. So big drop off in talent per Pro Football Network here. McGuire's high end combination of explosiveness and length adds up to elite power capacity. His hands have visible knockback power at the point of attack. When he fully extends, McGuire can brutally shove blockers off the line. With his raw power output, he plows blockers back and crunches the pocket and can sustain power rushes with menacing leg drive. Beyond his pure raw power capacity, McGuire is also shown to maximize his power output with functional application. He's proficient at lowering his pads and properly acquiring leverage into contact. To that end, he's able to properly load his base off the snap, fully extend into contact, and torque through blocks. So, I mean, this to me sounds like edge, defensive tackle, swing type of middleman there. Big guy, explosive off the line, has great hands. You love to see that inside or outside. I'm not mad at that. Let's take a look at some linebackers we have here. All of the linebackers are currently below value. We are picking at 155. The best linebacker is slated to be the 163rd best player on the board, according to PFN.
That's what, Dorian Williams right there?
That's Dorian Williams out of Tulane. 6'1", 228. Another Purdue guy, Jalen Graham.
Yeah, let's take the edger.
Yeah, I like that edge. I ain't gonna lie to you. Isaiah McGuire. I'm gonna have to look at some. I'm looking at film on all these guys. Actually, I think I'm gonna write an article based on this draft here, because I like this draft. I like this draft a lot, and I'm excited to take a look at some of these guys. I've looked at Darnell Washington, obviously. I've looked at Jack Campbell, Zach Pickens. I would like to look at Corey Trice. I would like to look at Andrew Voorhees. I know a little bit about him, but I would like to look at him. Isaiah McGuire as well. It sounds like he's a pretty dynamic player, so I want to get a nice look at him to see, what these guys could contribute to our team. The two guys I'm most excited about here are Corey Trice Jr. and Isaiah McGuire, right? You take a look at Corey Trice, 6'3". We talked about it, 6'3", 447, 205, and he runs like a deer. They talked about how he has great release off the line, strong hands. They talk about how he has great hips where he can flip and kind of, hopefully he has his head on a swivel where he can, attack the ball, at the point of attack, which seems to be a problem that our cornerbacks have right now.
Mm-hmm.
But with that type of speed and that type of size, he can make up for it. And another guy I'm excited about is Isaiah McGuire. Great measurables. You like a guy when he's explosive off the line, strong hands, and that's exactly what our defensive line needs. Who are some players that, looking at who we drafted so far: Washington, Campbell, Pickens, Trice Jr., Voorhees, Tank Dell, Isaiah McGuire? Who are some guys that you're excited about?
I'm always excited about my top guy, Darnell Washington. I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about Pickens too. I mean, just imagine that you could put a guy like Pickens right next to Jordan Phillips, who's definitely going to demand a double team if healthy. If you trade away Ed Oliver, I just like the guys that has size. That can battle a little bit more in the trenches with their length and their size. And so I'm really excited that Pickens kind of fell there to pick 3 for us there. I'm excited to see what Voorhees would do next year. So, I'm just really intrigued on that pick because we know we're going to have a stud guy, when healthy. He's going to be a stud, either right tackle or, guard for us in the event that if you're moving on for Bates or, McConnor don't pan out, So I like the Voorhees pick.
Yeah. I like the Voorhees pick too. If you could get, and I always say this, like the Bills are in this position where they're blessed, right? We don't need anything. We could put the team we have out on the field next year and contend for a Super Bowl title, right? Obviously, you want to shore up certain areas and create depth and things like that, but we don't need anything. There are other teams in the league who don't have everything we have, and they're still expecting to compete this year. So like I said, we don't need anything, right? Everything at this point is kind of like gravy, especially when you look at it from a draft perspective. A guy like Andrew Voorhees, who we talked about being a top talent, you put him on ice for a year, you still compete for a title, and now you potentially have a dominant offensive line going forward for the next 3-4 years before you have to pay him. That could be a very, very big deal. All right, here we are picking up at 205. Now I must say, Coach, look, Mook, it's a couple of undervalued players on the board here, right? We're picking at 205. The 156th rated player is still on the board. That's Thomas, running back out of Utah. We've had a running back out of Utah before. We've had Zach Moss, obviously, 6 feet, 237, RAS score of 4.69. So below average. He is currently the best player on the board by far. And then behind him is another running back in Hunter Lupke out of North Dakota State. Who went to North Dakota State? Was that
Carson Wentz?
That was Trey Lance. Sorry, I think Trey Lance went there. Trey Lance, yeah. Oh, right, Carson Wentz went there too. That's right. Mm. All right, let me see. All right, Tavion Thompson. Ooh. You run a 4.74 at the combine. Not great. I'm going to assume he's a power back. You're looking at Zach Moss.
Of course, he's a power back.
He was a power back. Yeah, but 4.74. Zach Moss was a power back coming out of Utah as well. Looking at that guy, let's see what Hunter Lupke has to offer. He's 6'1", 234 with a RAS score of 9.74. Jesus. Okay, Hunter Lupke. But he is significant. He is rated significantly lower than Thomas at the same time.
I think that's the guy that played like all types of positions at North Dakota State. I don't know if he played quarterback a little bit, linebacker, and I think that he's finally picking position to be a running back, my guess. But I don't know. I mean, you got to look at the Bills are picking for situations. Like, I mean, I get it. We do have Damian Harris, but I mean, why not have a bigger guy in the red zone? Somebody about 6'1", 240 pounds. I mean, 4.7, I get it, but on any other given day, that's a 4.6 easy somewhere in the high 4.6.
Hold on, still. But before you make your decision, I will tell you, Hunter Lupke, he is a white running back, but he's 6'1", he weighs 240, and he was a 4.5 with a RAS score of 9.74. So yeah, and like you said, he's also versatile. He can play other positions, as you said. So I mean, it ain't nothing wrong with giving Dorsey a little bit of a Swiss Army knife.
And what's his rating? Where he's rated at on
what do you
think
board? Here, Coach?
Where's he rated on the board?
183.
And we picked at 205. Yeah, let's go grab him because out of picks like this, you're looking for guys that can play special teams. And Hunter Lupke, again, he's a guy that played multiple positions, and to be that size, he's athletic, so he can be a replacement for Tywan Jones at this point. And then we can package him up in short yard situations or inside the red zone, especially when we got a tight end now, such as Darnell Washington. So let's go grab Lupke here.
All right. Hunter Lupke, running back out of North Dakota State. Looking at our draft so far, Coach, not a single double down. We have spread the love. We got our a backup tight end, starting linebacker, depth at defensive tackle, a cornerback who could compete, a lineman who will compete once he's healthy. You got a wide receiver who is looking to compete for some playing time there, an edge who could compete for some playing time, especially while Von Miller is going to be out for the majority of the season. And then a running back who, a little bit of a Swiss Army knife, also can play special teams. And you know how the running back room is in Buffalo. If you're in the room, then you might get an opportunity at some point. We've seen Nyheim Hines get opportunities to run the ball. We've seen Matt Forte get opportunities, Zach Moss, Devin Singletary, James. We've seen everybody except the feature back get opportunities, right? The feature back never gets the majority opportunities here. And, Hunter Luki, if he looks good in camp, I'm sure he could find his way into some playing time if they don't want to, keep him on a practice squad, red shirt him, or maybe put him on IR or something like that.
Yeah, I think this is a solid draft. I think, are we done? We should be done, right?
I believe so. Yes, we are complete with our draft. The sim is going to finish up, but I'm just going to read you guys off our picks. We have got Darnell Washington, tight end at pick 41. We got Jack Campbell, linebacker. Zach Pickens, defensive tackle. Corey Trice Jr., cornerback. Andrew Voorhees, offensive lineman. Tank Dell, wide receiver. Isaiah McGuire, edge. Hunter Luki, running back. Coach, I have to say, this is a pretty good list. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm excited to look at all these guys, but when you consider where the Bills pick, bottom of the first round, you were able to trade that out, get some value, still get a starter in Jack Campbell, still get maybe the best tight end in the draft in our Darnell Washington. You get Zach Pickens, who could create really, really good depth and potentially be a replacement for Ed Oliver. You get Andrew Voorhees. Again, we talk about it. He could be a major piece of this offense going forward. Tank Dell, an absolute game changer, field flipper. Isaiah McGuire could come in and create some depth as well, maybe even get him some playing time. And then Hunter Luki, we talked about special teams and running back opportunities. Who is your favorite non-top 2 pick here?
I'm going to say it could be the last pick. It could be Luki. I mean, here it is, the intriguing size, the measurables, the athleticism. It'd be pretty interesting to see, what he would do. Will he make the roster being a pick 205, Swiss Army knife, a guy that could do a little bit, everything, from a linebacker to a special teamer to a running back and a power back situation, short yardage situation. You figure those guys that play special teams, they make the roster and, they suit it up on game day. So it's easy to have a guy that can play, multiple snaps in different phases of the game, and, you can use him as that fourth running back on a game day roster, and he can help you out in short yard situations, definitely on special teams. So I'm really intrigued to see, we do snatch up Luki. He's probably the most intriguing pick. I mean, Dell, we already know that he's lightning in the battle. McGuire, we know he's strong off the edge. Trice is another intriguing prospect. Pickens is solid as well. So not bad of a draft here, moving back. Do we get a chance to see who we made those moves with? Are those listed?
Who, like what players were drafted with the ones we traded away?
The trades. Who did we trade with to make this work? Because we end up picking up 2 extra picks. We traded back.
We traded 27 to the Titans for 41 and 147. We traded 91 to the 49ers for 99 and 155. We also gave up next year's 7th round pick. We traded, we got pick 147 in that trade for 27.
Mm-hmm. So we gave away pick 27 to who? Who was that? Tennessee?
Oh, they just hold me. I don't think it's going to register. I don't think it's going to show me the mock we just did.
So we ended up. They just bumped you out?
Yeah, it bumped me out. So I couldn't see where we got that last pick from.
Luki 205. Last pick was Luki's 205. That was our original pick. So we had pick 41. We had pick 59. And then where did we go? We moved back all the way from 59 to 99.
Yes.
99, and then we took, what was that pick? That was pick 125.
120. I can't read my handwriting. It's 120 something.
125, and then Voorhees was what, 130?
137.
137. And then what we had, 147 and 155, right?
Yeah.
So we have pick 41, pick 59, pick 99, pick 125, 137, 147, 155, and 205. It's not bad.
Not bad. All right, so we got a comment from Spin in the comment section. Shout out to everybody that was in the comment section. We appreciate the love and support, guys, of course. Spin in the comment section says, listen, guys, have to give this draft a C-. We really need a right tackle. So what do you say to that, Mook? We only got one offensive lineman, and he won't even be able to play this year.
Right. What I say with it is the Bills pretty much shored up their O-line. They're expecting Spencer Brown basically to, have a year. I mean, he's completely fully healthy. He's not requiring off-season surgery this year. So he has a complete off-season to fully, regain strength and be who, they potentially picked him to be. And then on the flip side, you still got Quessenberry, who's familiar with the scheme. He has continuity with the scheme and your quarterback. So I see if Spencer Brown falls off, they're definitely going to use Quessenberry. Don't forget, we still got Tommy Doyle, who can play both sides, either right or left tackle. So I think the Bills, the problem really wasn't the line. Like a lot of, let's understand what the problem was. The problem was the coaching. That was the problem. It wasn't the O-line. It wasn't nothing but the coaching. That's what it was. Everybody want to keep talking about we need a line. We need a line. We need a line. We had over a 4,000-yard passer and 2 running backs that average over 5 yards a carry when they did run the ball. So to be in such of a panic mode on we need linemen. Well, we just brought back Ike Boddicker, he wasn't bad. Ryan Bates is under contract. You just brought in Connor Montgomery from the Cowboys. So I don't see the Bills really pretty much, diving in offensive linemen, too much. I mean, when you go look at the Bills depth chart, it's more linemen on the Bills roster than anything right now. So I get it. Some of those guys are just camp irons or camp bodies or whatever, but Quessenberry, I don't think Quessenberry doesn't makes this team. He's quality at that piece. In an event that Spencer Brown goes down, he gets hurt again. It just doesn't pan out. So I don't know. I mean, that's why I figured, Voorhees, because Bates' contract is, I think he has one more year left, possibly going into next year. Year 2, with government being into year 2 of his contract, and he only has one more year left. So, I mean, that's why I figured that the O-line thing. I don't think that you can bring in, a rookie right now, and that's going to be an immediate impact for Josh Allen right now. I think the Bills are investing in Spencer Brown another year, and we still have Tommy Doyle and Quessenberry to back him up at the tackle spot.
Yeah, and not only that, like I hear what you're saying, Spin, but at the same time, excuse me, especially in the draft, it's a crapshoot. I don't care if you're picking in the top 3. It's a crapshoot. You don't know what these players are going to do in the NFL. They're coming into a brand new environment, and you hope that they dog enough to support a roster no matter what the situation they're put in is. But we all know that things don't always work out. So even if you were to get a right tackle, you could potentially just be putting somebody else in the room, and they may not even be good enough to do the job. And now you're right back with Spencer Brown, except you wasted another draft. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't go get a right tackle. I'm just saying that either way, it's a crapshoot. The only way to fully, show that you're going to fix something is to go sign a veteran who has already done it at a high level. So I don't think that I would necessarily. But hey, it's your opinion, and that's fine. I agree with you. I wouldn't necessarily say that the draft was bad because we didn't want to go get one guy. And again, I think also
we got the C plus right now. That's one guy. That's one guy.
And not only that, but with the addition of Darnell Washington at tight end. That's basically another lineman out there. And the logic goes with every position. What's the point of drafting anybody? Well, with every other position, you are adding to a talent pool that is already solidified for the most part outside the linebacker there. We have a starting tight end. We have a starting defensive tackle. We have a cornerback. We have wide receivers. We have an edge rusher. And we have a running back. All these guys are going to be depth, and you're hoping they can be good enough to compete with our starters at right tackle. You'd be getting a guy your hope is good enough to be your starter, but ultimately will probably just provide depth. That's the only, thing I say in there as far as like honing on one specific position. This is like a gaping hole, which again, I don't think we have any gaping holes. Would we like to make the right tackle position better? Absolutely. But again, there's some free agents out there that we could work with after the draft and things like that. A lot of guys will get cut after the draft and, maybe come to Buffalo, want to win the championship. So, there's still time to fill that hole and fill some other holes. But biasly speaking, I think this is a pretty good draft. I'm really excited to actually go watch these guys' films, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this is a pretty solid draft. With the moves that we made, trading back and then, trading back again. I didn't think that San Fran was going to give us all of that, just to move up 8 spots. So, I mean, something like that. Okay, yeah, you can sacrifice that moving up, moving back only 8 spots because the guy on your board will pretty much still be there. Or you just take the best available guy, and that best available guy was Pickens. You know what I mean? So, that was a solid move right there. That pretty much opened up the draft for us to get more quality depth pieces. You snatch a McGuire and a Dale up out of that trade. So not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. And last thing, I love Spin. All right, I love. He always comes in and supports. He always has his opinion, and I agree. If Brown is the guy, we'll be adding to the O-line. But we don't know if Brown the guy, though. That's the only thing. We don't know if he's the guy. We're hoping, this is his 3rd year. A lot of guys have their breakout season in the 3rd year. So we shall see. But he's penciled in at that. And it's lightly penciled. It's like, how you lightly pencil something if you have to erase it, nobody ever knew it was there first. That's how softly Spencer Brown is penciled in at the starting right tackle position there. But all right, guys, it was a pretty good draft. All right, we took it about an hour. Happy Easter, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are gonna go ahead and get into our, what we do at the end of every single episode. We gotta check on the boss. We gotta see what's going on in the head honcho's head. So, Coach, I'm on with Muki. What's on your mind, Coach? What you got at the end of the day for us?
I just want to answer my guy talking about the O-line. Don't get me wrong. There's some solid right tackles I think that the Bills could take early. If the Bills want to take at pick 21, I like the right kid from out of Tennessee. I think he had an excellent combine. And then when you watch the tape, it is as advertised. Matt Bergeron from out of Syracuse. He's another guy that's going to be available somewhere between the 2nd and 3rd round. You see him come off the board, so it just how that just fell to us. I mean, we moved back to get, to me, Washington Campbell was the 2 highest guy on our board. So it sacrificed right because he went in the 1st round, and then, making that trade with San Fran to move back 8 spots, we potentially could have lost Bergeron. So we end up getting Pickens there. So, there's still some other guys available like Jackson Kirkland in later rounds that you could possibly go get. We're not just shunning the offensive line out. I'm just being realistic to what the Bills' depth chart is, and they're deep on the O-line tip right now. So I don't see that is really conducive enough to go and get a lineman in the higher rounds. I could be wrong because the game is one up front, and you can always be in need of linemen. But how many of those guys going to be an impact right away? It's going to take time for those guys really to develop. So, and again, I think the Bills got a lot of things still vested in Spencer Brown. So yeah, that's why I wasn't too high on the offensive tackle, especially of what the Bills have done in free agency at the O-line position. OBJ got his bag, 1 year, $18 million. I can't be mad at that, young man. Congratulations. So that makes the Bills move on from that. Only thing left out there right now is a possible trade with DeAndre Hopkins. We'll see in the draft how them things would heat up. And if not, we know that the Bills are going to take a receiver at some point in this draft. Whether it's a 6'4" guy or a 5'8" guy, that we don't know. But we know the Bills are definitely going to take a wide receiver in this draft. And, hey, let's not forget DeAndre Hopkins going to be traded on draft day with, a Buffalo Bill in mind. So I want to hear all your draft grades. Give us your grade. What do you think about this mock draft that we put together on BLEAV in Bills? And give us your honest opinion. You want to give us an F? Fuck it, give us an F. You want to give us an A? Hey, go ahead and give us an A. But we would love the honest input and some comments about why you feel that we deserve the grade we got. And we'll answer your questions accordingly, and we could probably talk about it live on radio on our late night sports segment tomorrow on WUFO Power 96.5 FM radio. So that's all I got, Justice. I think we did a solid job here, and yeah, you're gonna write that article, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is a nice little pickup. And one last thing I just want to say, trading back out of 27, which I agree with wholeheartedly. I just think it's good to accumulate picks, especially in the draft where the middle is compacted with great players versus high-end talent. You know what I mean? Yes, Power 96.5, the legendary WUFO, is exactly what he said. So go check us out there. You trade out of 28, you go down to 41. That's a little bit far for my taste, but I'm not mad at it, especially when you consider what you got in the haul. Darnell Washington is the best player on the board. He's the best player on the board. There are no offensive linemen that are the best player on the board. Steve Avila, I like Steve Avila, but you know what I mean? It's a little bit of a reach there at a 41. And then at 59, Jack Campbell is the best player on the board, and you need a linebacker.
Yeah, that was like, wow. Like,
I really don't think you're going to get starting right tackle. Yeah. Past that, I don't think you're going to get a starting right tackle. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, Zach Pickens was still on the board, and past that, you're definitely not getting a starting right tackle. So I see what you're saying. Spin. I think that can be picked up in other ways. But hey, man, again, it was an absolutely phenomenal show. Gave you guys a really good draft here, and yeah, be on the lookout for that article, guys, on Power 96.5, WUFO.com. You know what I mean? We'll go ahead and get it going over there. Hey, but at the end of the day, Coach, you want to go ahead and send us on, man?
8 picks in this year's mock draft. Do you believe?
Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports contests and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Now, find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. Bet Online continues to be the top online resource for all sports information from live in-game betting props and futures. Head to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Now, use our promo code BLEAV50 to receive your 50%. Welcome your bonus on your first deposit. Now, Bet Online is where the game starts.